What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another FPL video on the channel. And in today's one, we are going to be looking at my Game Week 25 transfer plans as we do look to rectify our big mistakes that we made in Game Week 24. And speaking of Game Week 24, here's a quick update, right? I've said it once, but I'll say it twice. The honeymoon phase is over and we are back to reality as we have dropped an all-time stinker of an FPL performance in Game Week 24. 68 points managed, and we have got a generational, an astronomical red arrow from 660k down to 900k, right? So it's not looking good at the moment. It's simple as that, bro. It is not looking good. And as you guys know, I didn't play any chips this week. I took the triple captain off Mohamed Salah. I refused to use the assistant manager chip, and right now I am being punished for those mistakes. I am being massively punished. And I also did bench big boy Jean-Philippe Mateta, who got a brace against Manchester United. So as you guys can see, it was a complete shit show, right? Simple as that. It was a complete horror show, and we have just messed up massively, right? We have messed up massively, but of course we are here, right, making this transfer plans video, looking to rectify our mistakes and really just bounce back, right? So yeah, it's definitely a week to forget. There of course is still one more game left to be played, Everton versus Liverpool, but realistically speaking, I can't really gain rank from this game because people have triple captain on Mohamed Salah. People have got Onslaught assistant manager chip. People have got David Moyes assistant manager chip. So realistically, I feel like it's a lose-lose situation from this game for me, right? I'm only going to lose out on rank. If Salah scores, it hurts my rank. Liverpool win, it hurts my rank. Everton win, it hurts my rank, right? So yeah, I'm cooked either way, bruv. Yeah, I'm cooked either way. So yeah, look, that's just a quick summary of our Game Week 24 performance. I really do want to just forget about it. And if you want to see my initial reaction, go and check out my last video. But guys, with that being said, let's just get straight into my transfer plans for the double Game Week 25. All right, guys, so first things first, I just want to go through all the different teams that do have a chance of doubling in Game Week 25 and what my transfer plan will be depending on what team actually gets the double game week. Because as you guys know, I'm actually recording this before the second leg of the Carabao Cup, which means we still don't know who exactly is going to double. But as I said, I've got a different plan for each different team that has a double in Game Week 25. So first things first, as you can see, these are all the possible outcomes that could happen for double Game Week 25. If Liverpool do beat Spurs, then it means Liverpool and Aston Villa will have a double in Game Week 25. Liverpool will have a double against Wolves at home, Aston Villa away, and Aston Villa have a double against Ipswich at home and Liverpool at home. If Arsenal knock out Newcastle, then it means that Arsenal have a double against Leicester away, Chelsea at home, and Chelsea have a double against Brighton away and Arsenal away. And if Spurs knock out Liverpool, it means Fulham and Spurs will have a double game week. Spurs will have a double game week against Manchester United at home and Fulham away, and Fulham will have a double against Nottingham Forest and Spurs at home. So they're all the different possible outcomes, but let's have a look at my transfer plans for each different outcome, right? So look, assuming that Liverpool actually do get this double game week along with Aston Villa, because they do beat Spurs in the Carabao Cup semi-final, assuming that does happen, then I've got two options, right? As you guys can see on screen, option number one is to use two of my free transfers to take out Brian Mbeumo, who I just bought in, by the way, so that is pretty annoying, but to take out Brian Mbeumo for Justin Kluivert, which then frees up money for me to do big boy Jean-Philippe Mateta up to Ollie Watkins if he is fit. I just want to make that clear, right? If Unai Emery, because I know Ollie Watkins did come off with an injury in the last game, but if Ollie Watkins is cleared fully fit to play, then he is a player that I would want for their potential double game week. Now, first things first, as I said, taking out Brian Mbeumo is pretty frustrating as I literally just bought him in last week. However, I do still like Kluivert as an option. I think the fixture run for Bournemouth is absolutely fantastic, and Southampton away is a great entry point. After that, it's Wolves, Brighton, Spurs, Brentford in blank Game Week 29 as well, which is another good reason for going for Kluivert, because he plays in a week where teams will be blanking. And also, you know, in Game Week 30, Ipswich at home, West Ham away, Fulham at home. You guys can see here, right, the long-term fixtures for Bournemouth is absolutely sensational. It's simple as that. So Justin Kluivert is someone I've got my eye on. He's also on penalties at the moment. He is pretty much the 90-minute man because Bournemouth do have some injuries, but the form is there for Kluivert. So even when players do come back from injury, I do believe Kluivert will be good for minutes and good for starts starts because he does certainly have the form. So this is a player that I really do like, if I'm being honest with you guys, and I'd be more than happy to bring him in my FPL team. And then of course we'd also be taking out big boy Jean-Philippe Mateta to Ollie Watkins. That is, you know, quite unfortunate because Mateta has been good for me. Even though I did bench him in the last game, he has been good for me and the fixture run is still pretty decent. However, if Ollie Watkins does have this double, you know, he's a player that I really do want. Now, there is also another option, right? There is also a second option. Now, this second option would be to actually just use one free transfer to take out Alexander Isak and bring in Ollie Watkins. Now, this is one that I'm not too sure I want to do. And the simple reason is because I've got a lot of value tied up in Alexander Isak, right? That's one of the main reasons. I did get Alexander Isak all the way back in around Game Week 13 when he was only priced at around 8.4 or 8.3 million, right? So I've got a lot of value tied up in him. At the moment, at the time of recording, he does cost a huge 9.5 million, right? And my selling value is only 9 million. And he is a player that I would want to bring back in my team. So if he doesn't go down in price, it genuinely means I would have lost $500,000, which is just ridiculous, right? Absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I'm not sure. And also, I think the fixture run for Newcastle is actually pretty decent. In all honesty, I do think the fixture run is pretty decent. So yeah, it is... It's a move that I don't really want to do, but it means that I could get to Ollie Watkins in only one transfer, and it means that I could also stick with Brian Mbeumo. So yeah, it's something that I got to consider. But if Newcastle do have this double game week, it does mean they blank in Game Week 29, right? If they do beat Arsenal, it means they'll blank in Game Week 29. So you could argue, with that in mind, maybe it's not the worst time to take him out, but I just think, look, the City defense is so bad. We saw how Arsenal slapped up Man City left, right and centre, right? We saw that, right? Man City's defense is so vulnerable, it's so poor. So for me, I just think, you know, with these fixtures, I just don't want to take out Alexander Isak, if I'm being honest with you. And I think Alexander Isak, he's one of the best players in the league. He's in form. He's not really a player that I want to take out, but it's a possibility nonetheless, right? It is a possibility nonetheless. So yeah, they're my two options. As you guys know, as you guys can probably tell, bringing in Ollie Watkins is sort of what I want to do, right? I've already got Morgan Rogers, but if Villa do get this double, then yeah, bringing in Ollie Watkins is what I want to do. Now, quickly before I go on to the second option, I also want to say, if Liverpool do get this double, it means I will be activating the triple captain chip on big boy Mohamed Salah. Right, Mohamed Salah, triple captain, will be activated. Simple as that. If Liverpool do have this double game week against Wolves at home and Aston Villa away, that is what I'll be doing. That was always the plan. Even as soon as I heard about this possible double game week, that was the plan, and that was the reason why I didn't even activate the triple captain in game week for game week 24. Right, so yeah, they're all sort of the different possibilities and different outcomes that could be happening if Liverpool and Aston Villa do get this double game week for my team. Now, let's move on to if Spurs do beat Liverpool, right? If Spurs do beat Liverpool, then this is my plan. Brian Mbeumo out for Kulusevski and potentially Mazraoui out for Robinson. As we know, if Spurs, like I said, if Spurs do beat Liverpool, then it means that Fulham and Spurs will have a double game week. Now, I'm going to be honest, right? With the Spurs assets, it's pretty, like... Richarlison, I don't mind, but the things with Richarlison, right, is I do feel like he's a minute's risk. Number one, because Spurs have actually signed Matthias Tel from Bayern Munich on loan. Number two, Solanke is almost back from injury, right? So I don't feel like Richarlison would be in my team for a long enough time for it to really warrant the transfer. So because of that, I feel like the only safe option that I could go for is Kulusevski. He's guaranteed starts, guaranteed 90 minutes. And just generally a good player for Spurs, right? One of their best attacking players this season. So that's the reason why I would preferably just go for Kulusevski instead of going for Richarlison. I mean, I could do Mateta to Richarlison, but again, like I said, I just don't really trust Richarlison's minutes, right? So I kind of just want to ignore him. And for that reason, I'd be only going for one Spurs asset, which is Kulusevski, and then I could actually do Mazraoui to Robinson, and Robinson of course would have the double against Spurs and Nottingham Forest. Now that's something I could do. I'm not sure about that Mazraoui to Robinson move, but it depends on, yeah, it just depends. I'm not really 100% sure if I would do that, but I do know for a fact I would bring in Kulusevski if Spurs do have that double. And another reason why I bring in Kulusevski, right, is because their fixtures after the double game week actually aren't too bad. I mean, they'd have a double against Manchester United and Fulham. And then after that is Ipswich, then Man City, who they do well against, and then Bournemouth at home, Fulham away, Chelsea away, Southampton at home. But up until 29 they would blank anyway. What am I talking about, right? 29 they would blank. So yeah, up until game week 28, I think the fixture run actually isn't too bad. So I don't mind Kulusevski as a pick at all. So yeah, that would be my route. That would be my plan if Spurs do get the win. And another thing I do want to point out, if Spurs do get the win and have this double, I also would consider using, instead of, obviously it would mean that I wouldn't be able to use my triple captain on Mohamed Salah because Salah wouldn't have a double. So that would be absolutely down the drain. And honestly, I think I'm cooked in that case. I think I'm absolutely cooked, and I think I missed a big opportunity to triple captain Salah in game week 24. So fingers crossed Liverpool do get this win. I do want to point out that that is possibly my best sort of scenario for my team. Liverpool getting this win against Spurs in the Carabao Cup. But like I said, right, if Spurs do get this win and Spurs and Fulham do double, instead of using triple captain, I think there's a strong chance I could actually use my assistant manager chip on either Ange Postecoglou or Marco Silva, because there are some decent table bonus games in there. I think Ange would have a table bonus against Fulham, right? I mean, so he'd obviously have the double game week against Man United and Fulham, but the table bonus game would be against Fulham, and also he'd have a table bonus against Man City as well. And I think Bournemouth as well. So you actually got quite a lot of table bonus games in there, and a lot of them are at home as well. So I do like Ange Postecoglou for the assistant manager chip if Spurs do win. But also another thing that I like is Marco Silva, as I said, because Marco Silva would have a table bonus game against Nottingham Forest, right? Marco Silva would have a table bonus game against Nottingham Forest, which would be pretty nice, pretty spicy if I do say so myself. So yeah, one of those two I'd go for the assistant manager chip if Spurs and Fulham have a double game week. The more and more I think about it, I think I'd go for Ange, because you got more table bonus games in there, and they are at home as well. So yeah, I think I'd be going for Ange assistant manager chip if Spurs do get this double game week. Now, for the last and final sort of possible outcome that could happen for this double game week is an Arsenal win. Now, if Arsenal do win, then this is what I'll be doing with my transfers. Once again, Mbeumo out and Leandro Trossard in, and then once again, Mateta out and Nicholas Jackson in. Now, first things first, right? Before I speak about Jackson, just hold on a second, because I know some of you guys probably don't like that transfer. However, just hear me out for a second. Firstly, I want to say Trossard is probably the player I'd be going for. I do like Kai Havertz, but unfortunately, I can only get to Kai Havertz by taking out Mateta and Mbeumo. But the problem is, if I go for Kai Havertz, right, who do I go for in midfield? I mean, I could go for Noni Madueke, but I just don't really like that as much, if I'm being honest. So I'd rather just go from Mbeumo to Trossard and then Mateta to Jackson, right? And look, Jackson did come off quite early in the last game against West Ham. I'm not sure if it was because he was injured or not, but he did appear to sort of have a problem with his hamstring in that West Ham game. I don't know, but he did get subbed off relatively early in this game against West Ham, which is a concern. But I just think a double game against Brighton away and Arsenal away isn't the worst thing in the world. Again, it's not guaranteed, right? It's just an idea. I'm just literally giving you guys my thoughts, right? But that would be a possibility. That would be a possibility. Or I could just keep Mateta. I mean, I do like Havertz, but who would I go for in midfield if I did get Havertz? Because I can't go to Havertz in one move, which is my problem, right? Which is a problem. I can't get to Havertz in one move. Look, if I show you guys here, I'm 0.2 short from Mateta to Havertz. That would be ideal, because Havertz does get a lot of big chances in this Arsenal team. I'd probably say he gets the most chances in this Arsenal team. So he's someone that I would want. And he's not a rotation risk. I feel like Nicholas Jackson is definitely out of form and at risk of being substituted early. So for that reason, I'm not really too keen on Nicholas Jackson. But I just feel like the combination of Trossard and Jackson is better than the combination of, let's say, Havertz and Noni Madueke, for example. Because it could be Madueke. But yeah, I'm just not too sure, because again, even Madueke, he's a rotation risk as well, so it's quite tough. But the thing is, if Chelsea do get this double, I feel like going for a Chelsea asset now would be best, because their fixtures after the double game week are really, really good. They have obviously the double against Arsenal and Brighton, and then Villa away, and then Southampton and Leicester. So for me, if Chelsea do have the double, bringing in another Chelsea asset now would be best. I think it would be the best entry point and the best time to bring them in. Maybe I could go for Enzo Fernandez. Maybe I do go for Enzo Fernandez, but I'm not sure how keen I am on him. I think against West Ham, he was picking up some advanced positions, got close to scoring as well. So he could be a shout, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Basically, all in all, what I would say, right, guys, what I would say is that for me and my team, the best possible outcome for this double is Liverpool and Aston Villa, right? Liverpool and Aston Villa to have the double game is the best possible outcome for my team. All the other options, I'm not really a big fan of, right? I'm going to be honest. So, yeah, I'm really hoping that Liverpool win so I can triple captain Mohamed Salah, bring in Ollie Watkins and Cliver if he's fit, because that just feels like it makes my team still in a strong position, right? The other options like Kulusevski, like Trossard and Jackson, I'm just not too keen on them because long term, I don't know how much I like players like Trossard. Long term, Kulusevski is okay. I mean, up until blank game week 29, he's okay. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. But they're all the different possible outcomes. They're all the different possibilities that I could be going down, all the different routes and paths I could be taking depending on who actually has this double game week in game week 25. But yeah, we could be looking at a triple captain. We could be looking at assistant manager. There's so many things that could happen, right? It's a crazy, crazy time for FPL. But guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I really do feel like I have waffled on for a long, long time, right? I feel like I have waffled on for a long time. So I think we are going to leave it as that. You guys are probably sick and tired of hearing me waffle because, yeah, I feel like I've been rambling on for a while now. So that is going to be it for today's transfer plans. Let's just wait and see what happens, man. There is still so much unanswered. And quite frankly, it's all just if, buts and maybes, right? There are no absolutes in this video. There are no absolutes. It's just all if, buts and maybes. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys do smash a big thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. And guys, thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. It does mean a lot. And thank you so much for the support on the channel. I appreciate each and every single one of you. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy FPL Ryan, and I will catch you in the next video. But until then, I'm out. Peace.